guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here working on my ring bound junk journal, finishing off projects and just making bits of ephemera for it really. So what I've got here, if you followed my last most recent video, then I'd done made the covers and things. I've done one or two other things since then, and what I want to do now is just make one or two more pages because I feel it needs a few more pages in it. So what I've bought in, now this was a sort of greetings card, and you can probably see in the middle, obviously it's got the patterned part from the greetings card. So all I've done is glued it on the edges so as to stick it together to form a pocket. And I'm going to actually have this, you know, punched holes as a sort of page in the book. And as you can see, I've just decorated it up. I'm just going to move that closure out of the way. I've decorated it up on the front, so I just want to now do the back of this just to, you know, finish it off and then be able to pop it into the journal. So again, I'm just going to you know, randomly pull in anything at all that I've got laying around on my desk that just looks like it might happen to go with this journal. And actually got a whole bunch of stuff here waiting for fussy cutting. Buried in the piles, but actually some of these might go really quite well. Actually that bird would, but it's quite ginormous on there, so I'm not sure if that's quite right. But I've got this piece, got some black and white butterflies, they'd go quite well. Got that one, got some clocks and things like that. So yeah, I'm just going to cut out one or two pieces, I think, and just see how they look. So let's just take this piece first. Whoops. So I'm just going to cut this out and see how this looks. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you're doing a bit of crafting, having a nice time. Are you finishing off projects? Oh, I don't know really what's happened. I used to be really quite good and only work on one thing at a time. And I think obviously my problem has evolved because I tend to upload videos every single day. You know, that has just resulted in literally stuff everywhere. Because, you know, obviously I want to try and upload as many different things as possible to keep, you know, things interesting. But that just means most things don't really get finished. So yeah, I'm really trying to work on tidying, well, not necessarily tidying, but, you know, finishing off things, because I've got such a lot of unfinished projects now that it's just becoming a bit crazy. So I'm really trying to get a bit of a handle on that and you know, improve the situation a bit. So I mean, or perhaps it would have happened anyway. Perhaps it's nothing to do with you know, videoing every day. So let me know if you don't do videos and your desk is also like this, and then, you know, I'll know that actually, in fact, my videos are nothing to do with the problem. It would have just turned out this cluttered anyway. So I'm just going to pop this down on here. Oh, my glue's playing up again. It's a little bit cooler today because we finally, well, we didn't actually have a thunderstorm, which was what's been, you know, forecast for days now. But we did have some rain last night. So thankfully it's cleared the air a little bit, although as I'm speaking, I can feel the heat building up again. So it's not, you know, it's not cleared enough. It really could do with, you know, a huge downpour to really sort of clear the air. There we go. So just that. Then I'm just going to cut this butterfly out. Now this butterfly might be a bit too big, but we'll just see. So the number is from my numbers set 3, and this butterfly is from my glue book favourites set 1. Okay. There we go. I hope people don't really mind me mentioning where things are from. I don't want to feel like I'm plugging my stuff all the time, but then if I don't mention things, then, you know, often I do get people email me, or just even in comments, sort of asking which papers I'm using. So, you know, I'm not just trying to willy-nilly just plug my shop or anything. It's just, I know that some people, you know, do find it helpful, and they do want to know what bits I'm using or what papers I'm using. So yeah, I do apologise if you find it a bit, you know, off-putting. I'm not just intentionally just trying to plug things constantly, but obviously, you know, some people do like to know what bits I'm using. So, you know, there's obviously the two sides to things always, and yeah, some people obviously really like to know what bits are being used. So I apologise if it sounds like I'm, you know, really pushing my stuff or anything like that. I'm really not, you know, because I mean, obviously you can use whatever you've got. You don't have to use my things or anything else, you know, just use the supplies that you've got on hand. But I mean, equally, you know, I'm probably not alone in that, you know, we all like buying new things, and you know, of course, if you are liking anything I'm using and I don't mention it, then do feel free to ask. So yeah, and thank you so much to everyone has, you know, who has bought things recently. I do really appreciate that too. You know, your support is just amazing and so very appreciated, because of course, you know, without your support this just would not be, you know, worth it. It wouldn't really be working, and of course I wouldn't really be able to be here so often. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I know that I have said before, but I mean, honestly, you guys and, you know, my YouTube and my Etsy and things, I mean, it's changed my life, literally changed my life. For the first time ever, I'm actually doing something that I really want to be doing. You know, I've never probably had a sort of work situation that has truly been my choosing before. I mean, that sounds like really pathetic, but I've, you know, taken jobs kind of because you need to take a job. And, you know, I mean, at the time, maybe I think, oh, well, you know, that sounds like a good job. Or, I mean, the only other job probably that I actually did really quite enjoy was I worked in an estate agent's for about 9 years. I just worked there on Saturdays when the boys were small, just because it fitted obviously with our family life. But obviously that was a shame because it spoilt our weekends, of course, you know. But I mean, I did like doing that because I was obviously just showing, you know, doing viewings around people's houses, which was obviously lovely. But aside from that, I've tended to have jobs that are pretty, you know, pretty boring and not very fun at all. Okay, so I've just popped that bling on there. And so, I mean, to be honest, that's finished. And, you know, that's then a little pocket that can go directly punched into the, you know, the rings itself. And then what I thought I'd do is maybe a similar idea with this, which is one of my really large book page pockets. And I thought, again, what I'm going to do, I think, is cover the back with just some neutral paper. So I'm just having a look here to see if I've got some. I've got, right, so I can either do this one or I could do actually plain for journaling. I think probably plain, you know, completely plain would probably be better. So let me just pull in some plain coffee dyed paper, which I'm now just looking for. Have I got any? I haven't got any beside me, but I have got this, which is, you know, one of my background coffee dyed background pages. So, you know, that will probably be just as good. So, right, just going to see if I can find my, you know, glue spreader. My card that I used for spreading the glue, because that would make things so much better. Let me see if I've got it in my, or got one in my little pouch thing that I take when I go out and take my craft supplies with me. No, I haven't got one in there either. And normally I do. Oh, that's just so typical, isn't it? Right, well, let me just check in my drawer, because sometimes, you know, I put them in the drawer and then they just disappear. Okay, I found it. So let's cover this with some glue. Now obviously this is a little bit bumpy because it's got, obviously, you know, that paper stuck on the front and things. So, you know, to be fair, this is not going to be great to cover. It would have been better had it been flat, you know, had I thought to cover it first. But hopefully it will turn out okay. So we'll just take that sheet of paper. I'm just going to pop that sort of, hopefully, as close to the edges as I can get, just to save the trimming afterwards. And I'm just going to then spread that with the glue spreader. It's not obviously a glue spreader, but it's what I use as one. So there we go. Right, let's wipe the desk. I'm a little bit distracted now because I had to stop the video just now because my son was phoning. You know, because our mobile phone contract, you know, that both my sons and my phone, they're all on the one thing. They've sent through a new card, you know, and that's now obviously ruined the payment. Well, I mean, I don't very often use my phone, so I wouldn't have probably even noticed, but obviously my son notices because he's obviously wanting to use his phone all the time, and he's evidently getting messages that he can't then use his phone because you know, the card is not up to date. So obviously I assume we haven't now paid our bill. So it's very annoying because you know, I shouldn't really be plugging everything, but it's Tesco's and it's Tesco's, so I don't really know why they can't just transfer it over. But anyway, so I'm a little bit distracted now because obviously I'll have to phone and sort that out in a minute. I hate sorting things like that out because, you know, you have to sit and wait in a queue and all these things, don't you, on the phone, and then you get through to the wrong department, and oh, it's just such a frustrating experience. But anyway, I shall do that after my video. Okie dokie. Right, so I'm just obviously inking this up in the first instance, and what I will probably do is have this with the holes punched this side. So I just need to kind of bear that in mind when I'm decorating this up, that, you know, my holes are going to be this side. Now, what's the bet in that I'm going to forget what I've just said and, you know, start madly decorating that side, and yeah, it will all be out the window. That's very likely, very likely. Right, I'm going to try one of these little clocks, I think. So I'm going to go for this dark coloured one. And these clocks, these are just from my Curator's Collection timepieces set. And these papers here, these are from my Awesome Architecture background pages. Okey-dokey. And I was just saying, wasn't I, that the heat seemed to have, you know, improved. Well, it's now just getting quite hot again. I mean, I know it sounds really crazy, but even the, you know, the heat from my hot glue gun that's just parked next to me on the desk, even that, I can feel the heat coming from it. So it's obviously very, very humid and muggy. So okie dokie. Right, let's just cut that out. So obviously I have filmed a couple of my Tidy Friday videos. At this point of filming this, I haven't uploaded any yet, so I don't know how they're going down. You know, like I said in the trailer and, you know, in those videos, I will just, you know, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. I was flabbergasted when, you know, so many people really enjoyed my organisation video. You know, I didn't really think anybody would even bother watching it. And lots of people had asked, you know, can we make this a regular thing? So, you know, I'm just trying it out. Obviously, it may turn out to be completely just a flop and nobody perhaps tune in at all. But, you know, you don't know unless you try, do you? So I'm just giving it a try. And, you know, I mean, fingers crossed, I would love it if, oh, look, I've just torn that down 2 at a time. I would love it, obviously, if it's, you know, if it's well received and people are enjoying it. But yeah, I mean, obviously at this point, I don't know whether that's the case or not. So if organising things and having to sort out and, you know, just tidying up and being able to kind of look through other people's things as they're sorting, because I mean, I know that some people really like doing things like that. So if that's your kind of thing, then it's hopefully going to be a new regular slot on a Friday, my Tidy Friday workshops. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it's a new thing. I don't know yet how successful they will be, but you know, if they're not, then obviously I won't bother continuing with them. But it's just a little trial, you know, because people had requested to do more of those. So we'll see how it goes down. Okay, right, I've just glued that on there, just ink that up a little bit, and I'm just going to pop the clock on there to the side, I think. Okie dokie. Yeah, so at this moment I've only filmed a couple of those. They probably will have gone up before this video, if you see what I mean. But yeah, so I've got such a lot of mess. I could just probably, you know, if they are well received, if they are kind of, you know, semi-successful, then wow, I will have them going on forever, I'm sure, because my mess is just literally never ending. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm going to have no shortage of filling up the workshops. I guess it's just kind of a way of, or the only sort of obstacle really is deciding what's going to be filmable, because I mean, some of the things that might be kind of tidy a cupboard, and you know, I'm not so sure how I'd film that, but you know, anything that logistically would be possible, I guess, you know, I can do. So right, just going to glue that down a bit more. Just use my hot glue now. Just that's nice and quick, and you know it's on there then. And we just get a bit of bling here. As I say, my hole's going to be this side, so don't necessarily want to have anything there. Okie dokie. There we go. And then on the back, now I would probably like to leave this, you know, as blank as I can for journaling, you know, because it's nice to obviously have journaling space in a journal. So what I might do is just pop a label or something on. So I'm just again looking through, seeing what I've got here. I've got this, which is a die cut kind of label type shape piece, so perhaps that might be quite nice on there, I think. So what I'll do, I think, is just do a little bit of stamping with my dinky flourish, and again I'm just going to pick up just those corners, I think. So whoops, stamp a couple there and there. I'll just go right round the edge like that, and then I'm just going to have this here. And what I could do, I mean, I don't know whether this will be very you know, sturdy really as a tuck spot, but if I just glue it like that just along the bottom, it could also be a little tuck. Now just bearing in mind my holes are going to be that side, so try and move that over slightly. Hopefully that's not going to be in the way of my holes. If when I punch my holes they're kind of over this, then I will just run some glue and actually have it, you know, more fixed to the page. And then I might just like a little bit of lace kind of hanging, I think. Yeah, maybe just there in like the middle of that. I've got some toadstools now dropping down. Yeah, so I'm just going to have that like that, I think. Do I want that? Or would I prefer it up there? No. I mean, what I could do is have one of those fabric tip-ins, actually. Let's just have a think. Oh, I could have it like that, I guess. Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, this might be in the way of the rings a little bit, but if I just cut it down like that. Just have that there. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that on. Just across there, like that. Okie dokie, and just then a little dab here in the corner. Okay, now do we want anything else? Do we want a bit of black there? It's kind of quite nice, just the ivory actually, I think. Do we want that hanging off the bottom? Just going to cut this in half to see whether, you know, it would look nice if it's just a smaller piece. To be honest, I don't think it really needs it actually. I mean, that's unusual for me to think that, but yeah, I don't think it really needs it. Do I want to have any bling or something just across where that lace is? I have even got some pearls, to be honest. Oh, I think the pearls might be quite nice. Right, let me see whether I could have a double row. Oops. Oh. Yeah, so I might just have that finished off like that, I think. So what do you think? Yeah, just kind of finishes that off really. So again, I'm just going to run my Fabri-Tac across these. Oops. Oh my gosh, this is fiddly, I must say. Perhaps we'll just apply a little bit here to the lace. Oh, come on. That's it. I'll just make sure those are stuck down. Again, you know, they don't have to be too straight. I kind of quite like them if they're not. So I've actually intentionally kind of pulled them down here a little bit in the middle. It just adds a little something when they're not quite straight, I think. You know, when they're too straight, it looks a bit like it's out of a factory, and I'm not over keen on that look in a junk journal. You know, of course, there are times when you want things to look perfect, but yeah, I don't think a junk journal is necessarily the place for that. So that's that one. And then the other piece that I've got is this envelope. Now, I stamped this in a previous video and then never actually got round to finishing, you know, what I was intending to do with this. So again, what I'm wondering is, I'm wondering whether to actually just glue the envelope closed and have just an opening here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So let's just glue it shut here. Like that. Okie dokie. And then we'll just decorate up each side. I'll have my holes this side, I think, for this one. And I think what I'll do is, again, just ink up, or sorry, stamp up some decorative bits and pieces. So I'm just going to do my large flourish stamp now. Just like that. And I will do a little bit here. I haven't decided how I'm doing this side of the envelope, but I'll just stamp it kind of ready, and then, you know, if I end up covering it up, it's no big deal, but at least I've got a bit of stamping on there. And then I'm just going to stamp a little bit of script as well, you know, because as I say, I haven't quite decided how I'm going to be finishing this. So just a bit here and a bit there and there, I think. Okay. And then, because it's going to be this way in the journal, I think what I'm going to do is cut it at the top, so it's a top loading pocket. I think I made a very good job of cutting that. It's not very straight. So again, I'm just going to go in here and just pick up any bits that, you know, aren't quite glued down there. So as I've got, you know, a clean opening. Okay, so that's going to be my top pocket. And then in those bits. And then we'll just decorate that up. So again, I'm just seeing what I've got on the desk. Well, I've got obviously some of that stampy paper, which I just, you know, had torn through by accident. So of course I could have some of that there. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I might just glue that on. Okie dokie. So that one just down there. Now what's on the back of this? So this piece here, again, I haven't quite decided actually, so just before I stick that down, let's just decide what we're doing on this back. Got this, which is some sheet music cover, which you can probably see. Right, I've got some of my vintage advert book. No, they're very big. I mean, again, I'm just reaching for things that are, you know, just on my desk really, so oh gosh, it's so hard sometimes to actually make a decision, isn't it? So I'm struggling to make a decision now. Just literally, I'm rummaging through sort of anything that I happen to have here. I mean, I've got this, which that's quite nice. Obviously, I was going to make that into one of those vintage photos, but it's actually quite nice on that envelope, weirdly. Let's have another look through. Just see what else I've got, you know, in the colours that we've been using, which is obviously just the neutrals. Come on, what else have I got here? I mean, you name it, it's here really. It's just a case of actually locating it, because of course it's one thing being here, it's quite another thing seeing it. So right, so I've got here just one of my little sentiments, my fairy tale sentiments. So I've got here Once Upon a Time. That might be quite nice. Actually, that might be quite nice the other side, funnily enough. Oops, look, I was at risk of sticking that upside down. It's lucky I flipped that over, otherwise I never would have known. And before I'd realised, it would be too late, and it would then be just stuck down completely upside down. And I don't think I would be able to really come back from that, to be honest. Well, I would, I guess, be able to stick the envelope back together. so as it was sealed at the bottom, and then I guess I could cut a flap the other end, but yeah, better to not have stuck it down the wrong way, I guess, in the first place. So yes, I will try and avoid that, you know, if I possibly can. Right, there we go. And then I'm just going to ink around this. Like that. Just ink around this side a bit too. Haven't decided still about this picture. So let's just finish this side first, maybe. Maybe that would be the better way to do it. So I might have that piece of lace just there on the edge. It's quite nice. Again, let me just pull that bit of glue out of my glue. Okey-doke. Okay, so I've got that piece there, and then I think what I might do is have this here, just kind of heading that top portion of the pocket. So like that. And I'm just going to trim that down at the edge. Okay, so I love how that looks, and I mean, does it even need really anything much else? I'm not sure really that it does, to be honest. It's looking really quite pretty just like that. I mean, it's very understated, but I mean, sometimes understated is good, isn't it? Let me just see whether I've got a butterfly or anything that would just go with this. I've got this one which has got some gold on it, which, I mean, I haven't got anything else gold in the book, so not sure how I feel about that, but well, I think it would look okay actually. Perhaps we'll have that on there. Yeah, I think these were from a company called Kanban, and I know I've talked about that company before. I don't actually know if that company's still even in operation. I've had these for like years and years and years in my stash. They were just like on a sheet of like ready punched out die cuts, but they came on an A4 sheet. Yeah, I don't know whether they're still going. I think they used to be on Create and Craft, you know, on the TV quite a lot. I didn't have, you know, I didn't buy them from there, but I have seen them on there, so I know that they are on Create and Craft quite a bit, or certainly they used to be. I mean, I haven't watched that channel for a long time, so I don't know whether they're necessarily even still on there now. Right, now I'm just having a bit of a rummage through my little bag beside me, and I've got this, which of course I wouldn't have that because being a bit obsessed with the matchy-matchy, that to me, no, it doesn't match. But what I'm wondering is whether I could just make a little pocket here. You know, if I cut that down, and I could have it as a pocket. Now, would I still be able to have my man? Not so sure now. Right, that one's going back in my bag. No, that's not the one I'm going to use. I think sometimes you just know, don't you? When you put something there, you think, oh, that's the right piece. But if that doesn't happen, you know, straight away, and I mean, it doesn't always happen straight away. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not the right piece, but I love it when that does happen, because then you just know straight away, you know, that you've got the right piece. So what I've got here is some more of that sheet music that I know we used previously. And I'm just wondering whether I should just do a completely decorative page with no sort of pocket or anything on it. I don't know whether that's just really just a waste of space. I mean, I could do like a pocket here, but I mean, in some ways it's nice to have the envelope just decorated and looking lovely, isn't it? Yeah, I might just have to do just a decorative page, I think, because I think that would look, you know, look really nice. And I mean, we have got plenty of you know, decorative pieces and journaling spots and what have you everywhere else in the book. So it's not really like it's now not going to have any space. So I've got this, which is the bottom piece of that sheet music. I might be able to incorporate that somewhere. Yeah, I quite like how that looks, I think. So I'm just going to glue this down. Actually, I'm going to glue it that way. Oh, that's a shame, because actually this side, the sheet music is actually even nicer, but sometimes I find the sheet music a little bit too busy. You know, it must be like a really busy bit of music. But yeah, actually for this piece, I think that would have looked rather nice without all the words, but never mind. You know, with more sheet music, less words. But that's okay, we'll just go for that. So just going to put this piece down. I might have to unclog my glue again. Doesn't want to cooperate today. It's obviously feeling the heat as well. No, I don't think it can be feeling the heat, because I know I've said this before. Honestly, I find when the glue's quite hot, it generally seems to work much better. Yeah, so I don't know why it's misbehaving, to be honest, but it's, well, it's obviously not feeling the heat. Right, let's get that out of there. Now I've got glue all over the sheet music. I don't know, as I was going to be putting my photo, or, you know, the boy, I don't know whether he was going that far over, so might have to try and cover that up now with something. Or it might be okay. I think, yeah, quite like how that looks. So just going to pop him down like that. Oh, come on. Okay. Just pop him down there. And then, yeah, I think I quite like this little piece actually going across him, weirdly. I mean, I don't know whether that's a bit strange, but yeah, I think that's quite nice like that. So I'm just going to pop him down. I'm just going to unclog the glue yet again, just in case it's still misbehaving. Okay. So just pop that on there. Okie dokie. So that's him. Now, do I want anything else on here? Oops, that wasn't very straight. Right, okay, so that's that. Now, just wondering whether we could have like a tab anywhere on there. So I think yesterday in the video I had pulled in, oops, maybe not. I thought I'd pulled in a tab, but no. Right, I've got some here beside me ready punched. Now, of course, I'm not going to have one that's quite right. Oh, I've got this one. Nope, that's very yellow. Got that one. Oh, I don't like that flower. It's not a flower, it's a butterfly, but yeah, that's too clashy then, I think. So, right, let's just put these away. And I've also got my number tabs, so I might just have to have, so these are my original number tabs, my original set, because I've got 3 sets at the moment in my shop. But I suddenly thought, actually, I think maybe we need to have a little number tab somewhere. I think I'm going to go for, oh, actually, maybe the middle size. Maybe the middle size, yeah. So I'm just going to ink that up. And we'll just have that up there. I just think these number tabs look so brilliant everywhere you put them. they're just really fun and really handy, aren't they? And I know it just seems to be numbers are everywhere at the moment. I know that Barbara over at 49 Dragonflies, she's done lots with numbers recently. Oops. And I'll just see if we'll put this little black one on this side. So yeah, I think I might have that over there. And then we've not put any lace on this, so I might put some lace on somewhere. Oops. Oh, there goes my glue dropping. Should we just finish it off with some lace down the bottom, or actually at the top I think weirdly looks quite nice again. So yeah. Before I do that, now I was debating about having the tab at the top of the envelope because I thought that looks really nice on there. So I'm going to glue that down before I put the lace, and let's just quickly ink that up a bit. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that down. Oh, come on, glue. It's lucky this is going to be my last piece for this video, isn't it? Oh, dear. Okay, right. So just get the tab and probably want it this way round because then it's up the right way. Yeah, I love how that looks. So we just pop that down like that. Just press that down for a couple of minutes. Okay, and then I'm going to just finish that off with some lace across the top there as well. I'm just going to glue it with my hot glue because it's, you know, it's just nice and quick. So there we go. Oops, I'm going to put it this way. Okay, and then I would just trim that down at the side. And I'll just trim it down here because it's overhanging a bit much. Okay, so love how that looks. Just before I do finish, I'm just going to check whether this would look good on there. Again, this is my Glue Book Favourites set 1. These are shrunk down. I think I printed these in this size was 4 to a page. And I just suddenly spotted this, and obviously it's a little black sort of piece, and I thought, oh, I wonder whether that would just go somewhere on here. Again, that's not the right way up. That's better. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have that there. I mean, I don't know how much difference it really makes, but I do like to have things, you know, lots of interest, so... Oops. Okay. Right, there we go. So just pop that down there like that. Just, you know, finishes it off, doesn't it? So a bit more to look at. Okay. So obviously I will just, you know, punch that, and that will then go in the ring bound journal as well. So I hope that, you know, you got a few ideas and things from that. We've done obviously these three pieces, which are all going to just be kind of put in like individual pages, you know, into the journal itself. So I hope that you got some ideas there for some ephemera pieces and some page layouts and things. And thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you'll join me again in my next video. Thanks then. Bye.